This morning I'm in the area of albir, which is a little bit north along the coastline from where I normally live, and I've come to photograph the lighthouse and anything else that takes my fancy. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you do and you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. So today I've come about 40 minutes drive from home to the coastal trail that runs down to the lighthouse at albir, or albir. I've stopped off on one of the sort of observation points, and I'm going to do a couple of shots from here. The first one is going to be a wide angle shot, and I'm going to try to include a little bit of the trail coming in from the right hand side, the lighthouse up kind of in the middle of the frame, and then a bit of the hill that it's on and the sea out to one side. One of the challenges with the lighthouses here is they're almost all built up very high, and that means if you want to include the sea and, you know, the kind of the if you like, the background to the lighthouse, you've got to shoot them normally from a fairly long way away. But I'm going to do this one shot now. I'm not going to use filters for this because otherwise it's going to darken the area where the lighthouse is too much. So I'm going to bracket exposures, one at 30 seconds, one at probably about 15 seconds and one at around 5 seconds, and then I'll blend those later. Okay, I've gone over to the telephoto lens now, and I'm doing a shot where I'm still trying to include a bit of the sea and a bit of the surroundings, but we've got some quite nice tones along behind the lighthouse. Again, I'm going to bracket this. The lighthouse is still very, very small in the scene. It's still a very small feature, but it looks quite nice. I'm going to bracket this 3 exposures, one to make sure I've got plenty of highlight detail, one to make sure I've got plenty of shadow detail, and then one in the middle just in case. And now I'm going to do one zoomed right in on the lighthouse. It's mostly the lighthouse and the rocky area it's on in the tones in the sky behind. There's no sea in there because there's no way I can get the sea in zoomed in this much. So I'm at 200mm on this lens. That's 320 on a full frame. It's a long way in. And now it's just a case of trying to time the shot for when the light flashes. I've got a few shots of the lighthouse now from here, which hopefully one or two of them will be okay. I couldn't resist taking a quick shot looking off to one side, because out in the distance is the Rock of Ifach at Calpe. It's a huge feature. It's got some subtle tones behind it, which looks quite nice, and what I'm going to do is drop in a 6-stop ND filter to slow the exposure down, just to take the texture out of the water. Should be able to get a 30-second exposure, so that will leave the water not 100% smooth, but nearly smooth. That hopefully will look quite nice. Okay, the sun is coming up. I've moved around to a slightly different position so that I can include both the sort of rocky hill with the lighthouse on and the sunrise in the scene. It's pretty much a clear sky. There's a little bit of thin cloud across the horizon. I've got the lighthouse pretty small in the scene. Again, I'm not going to use filters on this for the same reason as I didn't earlier, because it's going to darken the, if you like, where the lighthouse is a bit too much. And yeah, I could recover the shadow detail, but in this occasion I think it's easier to bracket the exposures. And I'm actually going to do one shot at f/22 focused on the sun, just to see if I can get a sun star, which I can blend in as part of that blending process. Lots of people about, and I've just realised I lost my wind muff somewhere, so I'm going to retrace my steps and see if I can find it. Yeah, I've had no luck finding the wind muff. It obviously fell off at some point, and it's so light, slightest breeze, it's probably blown away. It's probably gone over the cliff somewhere. So oh well, unless I find it laying around in the back of the car. Maybe I knocked it off when I put it on. I guess that's maybe an update I need to do to my review of the Pocket 2. The wind muff is very, very easy to knock off of this wireless mic. So, oh well, never mind. Hopefully I've got a couple of decent images for my loss. I guess you'll already have seen whether I did or not. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a like, share it on social media. Don't forget about leaving me a comment. If you're new here and you've enjoyed this, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. And as always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, so thank you very much. And until the next video, bye. And I found it.